Question 1. Through careful analysis of how real-time threat intelligence is operationalized in also the case of Is Rivera, a network administrator, she has noticed that her users are being redirected to phishing pages that were previously unknown. Upon investigation, she finds out that Checkpoint's threat cloud had already identified and classified those URLs as high risk, but her user didn't block access until 12 hours later. What is the most likely for this delay in threat enforcement? A. Is Rivera did not enable DNS forwarding in its delete configuration. B. The URL was operating in detect-only mode instead of prevent mode. C. Threat cloud updates were not configured to occur in real time. HEE's inspection was disabled, preventing URL filtering on encrypted traffic. Answer. Correct answer. C. Threat cloud updates were not configured to occur in real time. Explanation. Threat cloud provides real-time threat intelligence, but to benefit from it fully, the gateway must be configured to fetch updates dynamically. If the update frequency is delayed, e.g., set to fetch every 12 hours, newly discovered threats will be enforced immediately. The threat prevention update mechanism should be set to automatic and frequent in the secure gateway properties. Threat prevention pane, detect-only mode impacts enforcement but not timing. Disable HES inspection limits detection on encrypted sites but wouldn't delay response for unencrypted phishing. DNS forwarding is irrelevant to threat cloud sync source. Checkpoint admin guide. Threat cloud integration. Question 2. In a context of HES inspection, what potential impact does disabling certificate deployment on client devices have on the functionality of a secure web gateway? A. It causes the de jure bypass user check functionality. B. It prevents de jure from decrypting and inspecting SSL traffic properly. C. It only affects internal ENS resolution and category lookups. D. It results in bypassing URL filtering altogether, regardless of category. Answer. Correct answer. B. It prevents the secure on decrypting and inspecting SSL traffic properly. Explanation. HES inspection relies on the gateway intercepting SALS sessions, which requires presenting a trusted certificate to the client. If this certificate isn't deployed to client machines, users will encounter untrusted certificate errors, and SSL decryption will fail, rendering inspection impossible. URL filtering on encrypted traffic will also be hindered. User check can still function independently of HTTP or decrypted SSL. Internal ENS and category resolution are unaffected by this source. Checkpoint admin guide HES inspection. Question 3. When evaluating the merits of a three-step application control process, discover. Console. Control was the primary reason for initially running the gateway in discovery mode for new organization. A. To block all unclassified traffic until the admin configures explicit rules. B. To log and analyze application usage patterns before enforcing restrictions. C. To filter encrypted traffic prior to certificate deployment. D. To enforce user check prompts across all applications uniformly. Answer. Correct answer. B. To log and analyze application usage patterns before enforcing restrictions. Explanation. The discovery phase in application control is crucial for collecting data on which applications are in use within the organization, especially those not yet known or categorized. This enables security teams to consult with stakeholders and define appropriate policies. Blocking traffic without analysis could disrupt business operations. Usage prompts are useful but are not the reason discovery mode exists. SSL traffic filtering is handled through HES inspection, not the app control blade directly. Source. Checkpoint App Control Admin Guide. Question 4. Demonstrated by a financial services firm's internal audit, it was revealed that users were able to access sites classified under gambling and streaming media despite URL filtering being active. Which of the following is the most plausible explanation for this behavior? A. URL filtering policy rule lacked identity awareness integration. B. The rule action was set to accept rather than drop or limit. C. The site's ATS inspection was not enabled. D. URL filtering was enabled globally but disabled on the policy layer. Answer. Correct answer. C. The site's UATES inspection was not enabled. Explanation. When websites UATE are not view the content unless ATES inspection is active, without decryption or a categorization fails or becomes limited to SNIDomain-based inspection, which may miss embedded risky content. Accept drop actions do affect behavior, but assuming correct category matching, the absence of inspection is the critical failure. Policy layer disablement is unlikely unless it was misconfigured, and identity awareness isn't relevant to categorization enforcement unless specific user-based rules are applied. Source. Checkpoint URL filtering best practices. Question 5. When faced with multiple overlapping rules in a secure web gateway policy rule base, how does Checkpoint determine which rule to apply to a specific web access request? A. It applies the rule that was created most recently. B. It uses a top-down first match logic across the rule base. C. It aggregates all applicable rules and combines their actions. D. It defaults to the most restrictive rule regardless of order. Answer. Correct answer. B. It uses a top-down first match logic across the rule base. Explanation. Checkpoint's policy engine processes rules from top to bottom, applying the first rule that matches the traffic. This means careful ordering is critical to ensure expected behavior. Rules do not aggregate or get combined. Most restrictive concept is not automatically enforced unless it is the first applicable rule. Misunderstanding rule order often lead unintended access or blocking. Source. Checkpoint R Policy Management Guide. Question 6. Given the circumstances that Ista Patel is overseeing, a hybrid environment where half of his workforce is on-premise and half remote, which Checkpoint deployment architecture would best ensure consistent policy enforcement and optimal user experience? A. Deploy a single on-premise deployment at headquarters. B. Implement cloud BDD with on-demand scalability and remote agent support. C. Use only remote access EPN with ED integration. D. Set up local proxies at each branch with no central policy management. Answer. Correct answer. B. Implement cloud BDD on-demand scalability and remote agent support. Explanation. For hybrid environments, cloud BDD solutions offer better scalability and coverage for remote users without backhauling traffic to HQ. These solutions maintain consistent policy enforcement, often via client-side agents or pack file redirection. An on-premise only model neglects remote use. VPN-only access doesn't enforce filtering or inspection unless coupled with your local proxies lack unified management and are hard to scale. Source. Checkpoint Infinity architecture for hybrid environments. Question 7. By evaluating identity awareness configuration, what might explain why access control rules based on Active Directory groups are not being enforced correctly in a secure web gateway policy? ATES inspection is not enabled on the gateway. B. The identity awareness blade is disabled or misconfigured. C. The rules are placed too early in the rule base. D. Application control blade is not active on the gateway. Answer. Correct answer. B. The identity awareness blade is disabled or misconfigured. Explanation. Rules that rely on user or group identities require the identity awareness blade to be enabled and properly integrated with a user directory such as Active Directory. If the blade is disabled or the add integration is incomplete, G. Missing permissions, misconfigured agents, group-based access control will fail. HES inspection doesn't affect identity. Rule position may matter, but without the blade, identity cannot be leveraged at all. Source. Checkpoint Identity Awareness Administration Guide. Question 8. From a practical standpoint, why might enabling the anti-bot blade be critical in addition to standard antivirus protection within a secure web gateway configuration? A. Antivirus only scans internal emails, not web traffic. B. Anti-bot detects ongoing communications with CC servers, not just file downloads. C. Anti-bot and antivirus are identical in functionality but needed for licensing. D. Antivirus inspects in HEEs to traffic, while antibot inspects in HEE. Answer. Correct answer. B. Antibot detects ongoing communications with CC servers, not just file downloads. Explanation. The antivirus blade focuses on scanning files and blocking known malware, but it doesn't detect ongoing command and control (CC) traffic from already infected hosts. The anti-bot blade complements it by monitoring behavioral patterns, DNS tunneling, and beaconing. This layered approach is essential for defense in depth. Licensing doesn't dictate functional overlap. Traffic type HEEA are inspected by both ETS. Inspection is enabled. Source: Checkpoint Threat Prevention Guide. Question 9. Despite the fact that a policy was recently installed, users are reporting intermittent web access failures. Mr. Alonso wants to confirm the health of the DDoS CLI tools. Which command would most directly provide current status of gateway blades and performance? A. EWUniter. B. CPView. C. Netstat. D. Cat Varlo messages. Answer. Correct answer. B. CPView. Explanation: the CPView command is the checkpoint performance view tool offering real-time insights into blade stats, CPU, memory interfaces, and more. It's ideal for first-line health check. EWUniter is packet-level tracing, too detailed for an initial triage. Netstat shows network connections but DDoS-specific metrics. Varlo messages is general logging, not performance-focused. Source: Checkpoint Reference Guide. Question 10. Considering the evidence presented in the weekly Smart Event report, Islian notices a significant spike in access to high-risk categorized websites during non-working hours. What is the most effective next step to address this anomaly within Smart Console? A. ABTES inspection for internal servers only. B. Modified URL filtering policy to block all internet access after hours. C. Create a time-based policy rule to restrict access to high-risk categories after hours. D. Reboot the gateway to reset threat intelligence data. Answer. Correct answer. C. Create a time-based policy rule to restrict access to high-risk categories after hours. Explanation: Smart Event reports can reveal trends, and time-based anomalies can be addressed by applying time-based rules in the policy. Blocking all internet access is too broad and could hinder legitimate use. HES inspection doesn't directly address timing issues. Rebooting won't fix misuse. Using time objects and associating rules provides granular control over category access. Source: Checkpoint Our Smart Console Policy Configuration Guide. Question 11. Among the various policy enforcement tools available in CheckPyNetido, Mr. Jamal implements user-check notifications for data policy violations. He notices users continue visiting high-risk websites despite warnings. What is the most likely cause of this ineffectiveness? A. User-check messages are sent only to administrators, not users. B. The user-check action was set to inform rather than mask or block. C. Threat Cloud Intelligence was disabled for that policy. D. IDDO was deployed in monitor-only mode without enforcement capabilities. Answer. Correct answer. B. The user check action was set to inform rather than ask or block. Explanation: user check can operate in inform, ask, or block mode. Inform merely shows a notification but doesn't prompt user interaction or block access. To enforce behavior, ask or block must be selected in the policy rule. Threat card is unrelated to user check behavior. User check applies to both monitor and enforce modes if properly configured. Source: Checkpoint Are You a Check Admin Guide. Question 12. In response to rising concerns about shadow, Sophia wants to monitor and filter access to unauthorized file-sharing applications. She has enabled application control. Which monitoring method will give her the most detailed insights into user activity over time? A. Enable the AppWiki feature in Smart Console. B. Configure SmartLog with extended log tracking and filters. C. Monitor traffic using their TES inspection policy tab. D. Use CPView to monitor gateway throughput statistics. Answer. Correct answer. B. Configure SmartLog with extended log tracking and filters. Explanation: SmartLog allows for detailed searchable logs and timeline-based visibility into user behavior. It supports filtering by app, RA, and more. AppWiki provides static app definitions, not monitoring. HES inspection helps decrypt traffic but not log user activity alone. CPView is for performance, not granular access tracking. Source: Checkpoint SmartLog documentation. Question 13. When considering how website categories influence your decision-making, what risk exists if a website is miscategorized or uncategorized in Checkpoint URL filtering database? A. It may be ATES inspection completely. B. It may be blocked automatically due to a default deny policy. C. It may be allowed by default if not explicitly restricted. D. It causes user check to activate for every page load. Answer. Correct answer. C. It may be allowed by default if not explicitly restricted. Explanation. If a site is uncategorized and no policy addresses that case, the CMIT allow it by default, introducing risk. Admins should have fallback rules or treat uncategorized content as high risk. Default denies not automatic unless an OSICHES inspection is separate from categorization logic. Source. Checkpoint RRL filtering configuration guide. Question 14. In a modern context of building precise access control rules, how do risk level and productivity rating assist administrators when creating application policies? A. They enable administrators to dynamically assign routing protocols. B. They help rank applications based on AA metrics. C. They provide quantifiable indicators for blocking or allowing apps. D. They determine how deep packet inspection is applied by the gateway. Answer. Correct answer. C. They provide quantifiable indicators for blocking or allowing apps. Explanation. Checkpoint assigns risk level. E. G. High, low and productivity rating. E. G. Unproductive, neutral, productive to apps, helping admins enforce access based on security and business value. These metrics aid in policy granularity. SA, routing, or DPI tuning are not directly driven by these properties. Source. Checkpoint Applique and Admin Guide. Question 15. With respect to TES inspection, Mr. Chang is facing user complaints when accessing banking and healthcare websites. What is the most recommended solution in this situation? A. Increase SSL inspection depth using extended cipher support. B. Disable TES inspection globally to prevent SS errors. C. Define exceptions for trusted categories like finance and health. D. Enforce user check interactions for all encrypted sessions. Answer. Correct answer. C. Define exceptions for trusted categories like finance and health. Explanation. Many banking and health sites use certificate pinning, which causes errors when inspected. The best practice is to define exceptions in the TES inspection policy for trusted categories to ensure usability without compromising security. Disabling inspection globally opens wide security gaps. Source. Check PineHE's inspection best practice. Question 16. As a result of a post-breach analysis, it was found that malicious content entered the network through embedded scripts in web pages. What would be the most effective threat prevention policy adjustment to address this? A. Enable anti-bot blade only. B. Just antivirus blade to scan files under 1 megabyte only. C. Apply a prevent action on script-based malware in threat prevention policy. D. Disable threat prevention logging for high throughput. Answer. Correct answer. C. Apply prevent action on script-based malware in threat prevention policy. Explanation. The threat prevention policy can enforce targeted actions like prevent for categories such as script-based malware, which are common in drive-by attacks or embedded content. Anti-bot won't catch initial injection. Reducing scan size or disabling logging increases risk. Source. Checkpoint Threat Prevention Configuration Guide. Question 17. While examining core secure web gateway components, what role does the URL filtering software Blade play in an integrated policy rule base? A. It acts as a agent that replaces all IPS signatures. B. It provides category-based filtering ATT traffic. C. It enforces VPN tunneling rules based on identity. D. It bypasses all SSL traffic when not categorized. Answer. Correct answer. B. It provides category-based filtering or traffic. Explanation. The URL filtering Blade applies content categorization at traffic, enabling rules to allow block based on risk, business need, or compliance. It does not replace IPS or handle VPN tunneling. SSL traffic is filtered. HES inspection is enabled. Source. Check Software Blade overview. Question 18. During the process of refining application control rules, Mr. Asen notices that users can still access proxy websites despite the proxy avoidance and anonymizers category being blocked. What is the most probable cause? A. Proxy apps are not updated in the AppWiki database. B. Rule base lacks a cleanup rule with a drop at the bottom. C. ATES inspection is not active, preventing app identification. The VPN is tunneling traffic through SSL, bypassing all filtering. Answer. Correct answer. So ATES inspection is not active, preventing app identification. Explanation. So the ATES inspection and decrypt and identify applications inside encrypted proxy or VPN traffic, allowing users to circumvent restrictions. App control relies on decrypted visibility for accurate enforcement. AppWiki updates improve detection, but as secondary, VPN tunneling complicates things. By ATES inspection is still key. Source. Checkpoint app control with ATES inspection guide. Question 19. To better understand real-time firewall behavior, which CLI command allows administrators to view ongoing packet flow through the inspection engine in checkpoint plus drop B EPUC smart log TD CPstat OS. Answer. Correct answer. OELEOG plus drop. Explanation. OELEOG plus drop provides real-time logging of drop packets, helping identify why traffic is being rejected. It's the powerful troubleshooting tool. CPView gives performance stats. CPstat shows blade status. Smart log. T is for log viewing, not packet analysis. Source. Checkpoint CLI reference guide. Question 20. Examining the consequences of weak identity integration, what is the risk of relying solely on IP-based rules without enabling identity awareness in a user-centric network? K. Policies will block all traffic from dynamic IP ranges. B. Users will be incorrectly profiled based on MAC addresses. C. Users sharing IPsy. G. Via NAT will receive identical access rights. D. DS-based filtering will override category-based rules. Answer. Correct answer. C. Users sharing IPsy. G. Via NAT will receive identical access rights. Explanation. Without identity awareness, policy rules are applied by IP address. In NAT environments or shared networks, multiple users can appear under one IP, making granular policy enforcement impossible. Identity awareness links traffic to users, improving accuracy. DNS filtering and MAC profiling are not DFSG methods. Source. Point identity awareness documentation. Question 21. Looking at the data on smart event logs over the past month, is Georgina noticed an unusual spike in traffic to cryptomining categorized sites from a specific subnet? What should be her next investigative step to validate the scope and source of the potential compromise? A. bug drop to capture blocked packets. B. Correlate events using smart event and filter logs by IP, category, and user. C. Disable HTTPS inspection to view direct traffic flows. D. Reboot the security gateway to flush memory cache. Answer. Correct answer. B. Correlate events using smart event and filter logs by IP, category, and user. Explanation. Smart event provides centralized, correlated threat visibility, ideal for isolating suspicious activity patterns. Filtering logs by source IP user and category allows Georgina to trace the origin of cryptomining access. ZDebug is for real-time drops, not historical data. Rebooting and disable HE inspection would reduce visibility, not enhance it. Source. Smart Event R admin guide. Question 22. Under the assumption that Larsen is deployed for a globally distributed enterprise, which checkpoint deployment method would best accommodate roaming users while maintaining consistent enforcement and visibility? A. Rely solely on on-premise gateways at each regional office. B. Deploy Quantum Spark appliances in all cloud regions. C. Implement Harmony Connect for cloud-delivered DDoD. Use site-to-site VPN to route all traffic through RHE. Answer. Correct answer. C. Implement Harmony Connect for cloud-delivered DDoS. Explanation. Harmony Connect is Checkpoint's cloud-based DDoS that enables policy enforcement anywhere, even for roaming users. It offers identity-based access control, threat prevention, and central reporting. Routing traffic through HQ, it reduces latency. On-premise-only models lack scalability. Spark appliances are branch-focused and not optimal for mobile clients. Source. Checkpoint Harmony Connect overview. Question 23. In the context of application control, why is widget level identification critical in enforcing granular access rules in Checkpoint? It allows bypass HTTPS inspection for trusted domains. B. It helps identify and block subfunctions of composite applications. C. It replaces the need for URL filtering in high-security networks. D. It eliminates the need for application signatures or updates. Answer. Correct answer. B. It helps identify and block subfunctions of composite applications. Explanation. Widget identification enables control at the component level of apps. B. G. Allowing YouTube browsing but blocking comments or uploads. This increases granularity of policies and avoids overblocking. It doesn't replace HTTPS inspection or URL filtering, nor does it eliminate signature updates. Source. Checkpoint Application Control Admin Guide. Question 24. When analyzing URL filtering policy effectiveness, Istishama found that access to weapons category was still permitted even though it was blocked in a rule base. What is the most plausible explanation for this issue? A. DE is operating in legacy policy mode. B. The rule was placed below a more general accept all rule. So HTTPS inspection was incorrectly applied to internal interfaces only. D. User check was set to ask instead of a book. Answer. Correct answer. B. The rule was placed below a more general accept all rule. Explanation. Checkpoint evaluates rules top down, and the first match wins. A broad accept all rule above the block weapons rule would override it, allowing unintended access. This is common policy design error. User check affects prompting, not policy enforcement. Internal HTTPS inspection wouldn't influence external URL locking. Source. Checkpoint policy design guidelines. Question 25. Focusing specifically on user-based traffic patterns, how can an administrator best visualize which users access high-bandwidth applications in Checkpoint? Configure a smart event report using a custom view filter by application categories and user. B. Enable CP view and export the statistics. C. Review HTTPS inspection policy exceptions tab. D. Use the application control blade to send SMP traps. Answer. Correct answer. A. Configure a smart event report using a custom view filter by application categories and user. Explanation. Smart event enables the creation of custom dashboards and reports filtered by app category, bandwidth usage, and user identity, making it ideal for investigating high bandwidth application usage. CPV shows throughput, not user activity. HTTPS exceptions don't show bandwidth use. SMP traps are limited in detail. Source. Smart Event Hour Reporting Guide. Question 26. Taking into account a government agency's need for compliance reporting, which built-in checkpoint tool is best suited to demonstrate that access to adult content websites has been consistently blocked over the past quarter? A. Application Control Dashboard. B. Threat Cloud Intelligence Portal. C. Smart Event with predefined URL filtering reports. D. HTTPS inspection rule-based log viewer. Answer. Correct answer. C. Smart Event with predefined URL filtering reports. Explanation. Smart Event includes predefined and customizable reports for URL filtering that clearly document access attempts, enforcement actions, and categories involved. Ideal for compliance audits. Threat Cloud is for external threat info. App Control dashboards track applications, not web category. HTTPS logs don't provide category-specific compliance views. Source. Checkpoint Smart Event Compliance Reports. Question 27. To illustrate this point, ELIZA notices repeated outbound connections from a user machine to a suspicious domain flagged by Threat Cloud. What capability of the anti-bot blade is essential in preventing this scenario from escalating into data exfiltration? A. It sandboxes downloaded files for delayed detonation. B. It prevents outbound connections to known CC domains. C. It inspects SSL traffic using certificate pinning techniques. D. It logs DNS queries but does not act on them. Answer. Correct answer. B. It prevents outbound connections to known CC domains. Explanation. The anti-bot blade is designed to identify compromised hosts attempting to communicate with command and control CC servers and block these connections. This cuts off attacker control and prevents data exfiltration. Sandboxing is part of threat emulation. Certificate pinning applies to clients, not gateways. DNS logging alone lacks enforcement. Source. Checkpoint Anti-Bot Blade Guide. Question 20. While examining policy best practices, why is it essential to implement a cleanup rule at the bottom of the rule bin de policies? A. It forces all encrypted traffic to go through EANL. B. It ensures that any traffic not explicitly allowed is dropped or logged. C. It increases IP signature detection efficiency. D. It acts as a backup for gateway high availability. Answer. Correct answer. B. It ensures that any traffic not explicitly allowed is dropped or logged. Explanation. A cleanup rule at the bottom ensures that unmatched traffic is handled explicitly, typically logged and dropped, reducing security gaps. Without it, such traffic may be allowed silently. It doesn't affect VPN or IPS source. Checkpoint rule-based management guide. Question 29. According to recent studies of web access logs, Istigani notices that newly created phishing domains aren't categorized quickly by default. What configuration could reduce the risk of such zero-hour threats? A. Configure HTTPS inspection only for social media domains. B. Increase the threat card sync interval to weekly. C. Enable dynamic URL categorization fallback and heuristic scanning. D. Disable user check for unknown categories. Answer. Correct answer. C. Enable dynamic URL categorization fallback and heuristic scanning. Explanation. Heuristic URL scanning and dynamic fallback allows a digit to analyze uncategorized or suspicious domains in real time, bridging the gap between threat card updates and actual detection. Weekly syncs are too infrequent. HTTPS inspection helps but isn't sufficient without categorization logic. Source. Checkpoint threat card and URL filtering enhancements. Question 30. In what ways can the administrator isolate whether URL filtering policy misbehavior is due to a misconfigured object, incorrect policy match, ETE's inspection bypass? A. By comparing Smart Console rules with legacy Smart Dashboard policies. B. By reviewing logs in Smart Log for matched rules and applied blades. C. By rebooting the policy server to refresh the access control logic. D. By removing HES inspection rules temporarily. Answer. Correct answer. B. By reviewing logs in SmartLog for matched rules and applied blades. Explanation. SmartLog shows detailed event data, including rule-matched blades involved, action taken, and user context. This is the best way to trace misbehavior. Rebooting or disabling inspection is intrusive. Smart Dashboard is obsolete in R+. Source. Checkpoint SmartLog Troubleshooting Guide.